is this the last stop?
No, I mean, whether we win or lose on this, and I don't think we have the votes ultimately to win on this, but whether we win or lose on this, we will continue to stand on principle against Obamacare. Many state legislatures are going to have the same fight, the same fervor and the same excitement we've had in Washington this week will be in state capitals. When they get the bill for the expansion of Medicaid, all the states that are expanding Medicaid are going to either have to raise taxes or go further in debt. And this is going to be a problem, but it comes about over the next year or two. The other thing that's going to happen is people who had good insurance, this could be wealthy executives or it could be union workers who had good insurance, are going to be paying taxes on it. People are going to find out that their prices for their insurance is higher. Part-time workers are going to lose hours, and full-time workers may well lose their job. There's going to be a lot of bad things that come out of this, and so I think the fight goes on. But this is a milestone in that fight.
So there was a tweet yesterday from NBC News, and I want to read it to you and get your comment. NBC News has learned, while Senator Rand Paul does not expect to speak publicly about his opposition to Cruz's tactic, Paul sided with Mitch McConnell. Is that true?
What I've said is what I'll continue to say all along, that I won't spend a penny on, I won't vote for a penny for Obamacare, and I'll do anything I can to stop it. I have also said that I don't want to shut down the government. And I think shutting down the government is just a deadline that if we go through, even though it will be the president's fault, it'll be him wanting everything he wants if it happens, it's probably not good for our cause overall to go through a shutdown. And so I have some mixed feelings as to how this all turns out. I don't want to fund Obamacare, but I also think that for us to win and take over the Senate or the White House, it isn't in our best interest to be perceived or accused of shutting down government.
But you're going to be accused of, look at what you're accused of.
I've been accused of my fair share of
things. That's right. You're going to be accused. We can't live in a world where we're afraid of what the accusations are going to be, because it doesn't matter. That's Mitch McConnell and John McCain kind of thinking that gets
right.
Well, John McCain's worse.
I guess my point is that if we're willing to do it, what we have to do is be willing to go through the deadline, and the only way leverage or our poker hand holds any value or power is that people do believe we'd go through the deadline. With the debt ceiling, I've always been willing to go through the deadline. I'm willing to go a month, 2 months, 3 months, as long as it takes. And I think we could use that leverage to bring the Democrats to the negotiating table. With the actual disruption of spending, there is a way we could have done this, but it would have required assistance from leadership, and that would have been in January. We should have started passing appropriations bill. See, if the defense appropriation bill were passed, we couldn't have anybody up here saying, "Oh, you're going to not pay the soldiers." Right now, soldiers wouldn't get paid.
See, this is the problem, Rand, and you know this. You just know this. The leadership that we have as the GOP with Boehner and McConnell and everybody else, they're a waste of a seat. They are not. I don't understand how they think they're going to win. The reason why the Republicans have a 34% approval rating is not because of you guys, but because America now says 68% of Americans say we're on the wrong track. And what Mitch McConnell is giving them is the same track, different speed. They don't want to be on this track anymore.
Well, I think the vast majority of people are with us on, defunding Obamacare, getting rid of, stopping Obamacare, and the fight is worth having. This is the time to have the fight. And so I'm going to keep doing what I can to stoke the flame, stoke the fire, and to say, this is bad, that coercion is bad, that mandates are bad, that the hundreds of mandates that run throughout Obamacare are not consistent with our American ideals, not consistent with the American concept of freedom of choice, of voluntarism. And I think we should have that debate and put it in stark terms, because the bottom line is there'll be one or two choices on these exchanges. And right now you have hundreds of choices. If I want to choose a high-deductible plan and a health savings account, I can do it. That will not be offered to me under these exchanges.
Anything you're comfortable about sharing about the whip process going on behind closed doors? Yesterday there was a bright report out that Mitch McConnell and John Cornyn were looking for votes against Cruz. In effect, is the GOP trying to make sure that the funding goes through?
No, I think the caucus is unified against Obamacare. I mean, I truly do. I think there are some differences on how we best should do it, and I think they're honest differences, to tell you the truth. But I think the caucus, and where I think it is a little bit unfair on some of the criticism, for example, Senator Barrasso, the MD, has fought Obamacare like nobody else, puts out information every week on it, has always voted to defund it. It's a little unfair, really, to say that if he's unwilling to filibuster a bill that he actually agrees with, that he's opposed to Obamacare. And so I think that really some of the tactics aren't necessarily fair. And I think that our caucus is unified. Our caucus is not unified on exactly how to do it.